everyone. This is the Astral Tourist. I became aware during what I thought was a dream last night. I knew something had irritated me about the dream, but I didn't remember what that was. It happens sometimes. You're just becoming conscious and stuff kind of fills in and you're not sure exactly what's going on, and that can be the way it is. When I looked around, I saw I was in a busy area with crowds of people and buildings. Mostly I felt frustrated, and in general just frustration. All this frustration had built up inside me, and I didn't even know why. I can't explain it. I just became aware while I was all frustrated and already in that state. So I thought, well, never mind this. I felt too tired to astral project or even to try lucid dreaming. I was tired and frustrated. So frustrated. It was overwhelming, kind of, but I decided, never mind. I thought I would just wake myself up. That's the easiest thing to do. And maybe to do a nirvanic kind of meditation to boost my mood. I like to meditate and get all into nirvana and be happy again. I'm not usually the frustrated type, even in my sleep, so this was kind of weird for me already, just to be feeling all of that. I'm a little empathic. I don't know if I was feeling it from somewhere else, if it was really my own frustration. And I didn't care at that point. I just wanted to wake up and get into meditation and get back into my normal cheerful self, right? So I made the intention to wake up. I lifted off the ground from where I was, and I was pulled backwards, only far more slowly than usual. As I ascended higher into the air, which was just kind of a natural progression, I was like back and up so slowly, and back and up and back and up. You know, before I knew it, I had a really great view of all the many people in the area. Some were sitting in chairs at tables. They were hanging out, just chatting away with their friends. It was almost slow motion, but not quite. It was just slow, which I wondered about, because usually when I want to wake myself up, I do it, ASAP. It happens. It's done deal. But not this time. So here is where I made my big mistake. I decided it would be funny to express my frustration towards myself, towards my own self, my own mind. I was trying to be funny and trying to pick up my mood. And what I did was I stuck up my middle finger at some of the people sitting at the tables as I floated on by them. Yep, and I held it there too, in this kind of slow progression backwards that I was going in. And here's my hand waving that finger. I thought I was just dreaming, and only in my own mind. I thought it would be funny as, hey, thanks to myself for another boring dream that I could have just not bothered to remember anyway. It was like, if I'm going to remember it, let's make it epic. And up my finger went. And I left it up there for a while, since it was taking me a while to wake up. Well, here's what happened next. One man sitting at one of the tables heard me thinking, and he saw me. He looked right over at me, saw me floating there. Within less than a second, he telepathed to me very clearly and concisely. This is like a well-mannered, taught man. I don't know, very well educated, I assume. That number one, he wasn't me. And number two, what did the hand gesture I just used mean? And I was like, oh my gosh, I just made some huge mistake. I am not flipping off myself. Maybe. So I wanted to make sure. I was, putting two and two together. He was also telepathing still that he thought I was maybe waving to him because I might know him. Thinking, oh my gosh, what did I just do? Am I really in the astral? And that's when I was getting more lucid super fast. I mean, I was still floating really slow there, going really fast awareness-wise in my head, like, oh, I better take pause and think about where I really am here. So I paused there in the air so that I could continue to communicate with this man. I didn't really want to be insulting somebody who's out there in the astral, I'm not like that. I mean, for no reason, just do that to somebody. No, it's not me. I felt stunned because I really thought I was just having a boring dream, having some fun with my own self. I checked out my surroundings. I tried to change a few things, which is one way to figure out if you are lucid dreaming or not. Like if the whole area you're in, if you want it to become a palace, and it does, you're lucid dreaming, folks. These buildings didn't change, and my awareness was heightening by the moment. And if you try and you have a lot of experience with astral projection, you can feel it. I mean, I had just been tired and not being super aware, and I was beginning to really feel it. I knew, okay, I'm really astral projecting here. Nothing is changing. My awareness is filling in like this wonderful energy coming back into me, and I wondered about that. I don't know, maybe just the slow flight backwards was helping because that gave me a little more time to gain some more energy. I had that time to recharge. I don't know, but I was feeling better and more aware and looking around, trying my different, reality tests for lucid dream or astral projection, and it's all astral projection, and I'm really feeling the astral part of it. So, this didn't take long at all. I'm taking too long to describe it even, but if I speak faster, I'll just jumble my words. So I did this all in the space of probably less than a second. It might have been 2 or 3 seconds. I don't know. But after I had done that, this man was still staring at me, waiting for some kind of other response. So I did that. I got my bearings kind of while I was hanging there in the air. I stared right back at him since he was still keeping that link with me open. What a patient man. It was like, wow, he's really lucid. So I stared right back at him, and I telepathed to him from the air what the gesture meant, which was embarrassing. I was so embarrassed to tell him what it meant, but I also explained that I thought I was just dreaming, and everything I just explained to you all, that I was just having fun with myself, and I thought I was in a dream, but no, it's not a dream. We're in the astral. And he took it really well, because he already knew. He was like, yeah, I get it. Then he introduced himself formally. It's like, wow, he's a very formal, nice man. He's a British gentleman named Henry. He telepathed a picture of his physical self to me. In the picture, he was smiling wide at me, and that was like version 1 of the picture. But then he began moving around dancing, which was kind of funny, and making some funny gestures too. They were hilarious, and he was like, I can make a gesture too, He was doing it with his whole body and poking his hands up in the air like a funny dance move, like, hey, I can't even hardly dance, but here it is. But I bet he can. I bet he can dance. Anyway, he also included that he's still alive, which I thought was great. Some people in the astral, they are not alive still physically anywhere. And he's like, I still got it. I'm still here. I forgot to ask him which time period. I wish I had remembered. but he didn't ask me which time I was from either. So I don't know. I mean, the picture kind of showed a club or a pub. I don't even know. That part was unclear. The part about him moving and having fun, that was all super clear. So somewhere that has music that didn't look like it was some old-fashioned band. So I don't know. So more about Henry. He has short reddish-brown hair and gleaming green eyes. His hair is more brown than reddish. I mean, he's not full-on red with a tinge of brown. It's more brown with a tinge of red. It was straight. Let's see. And no freckles. I'm not sure why that was so important to him, that I should know that he has no freckles. He thought it was important. He's the one that cared about that. So I'm making sure to mention it. No freckles, Henry. No freckles, no freckles, no freckles. And I'm saying it like that because that's kind of how he related to me. It's kind of how it goes telepathically. Like if you really want to make an impression, you say things 3-4 times in a louder kind of mental voice. So, why is that important to Henry? I may never know. Before I could think about drifting back over to his table, not even back, I just drift over there, I woke up. I was thinking back, I think, because of part of the pictures he was sending me. It's like kind of wanted to join him in that dance. I hope I get to see Henry again on the astral plane. He's such a good-natured guy, fellow. Mostly I just wanted to share this as one example of how you don't have to be perfect on the astral plane or anywhere else. And I'm just going to, post this with all my voice stuff in there, whatever. If I hiccup or whatever, you're going to get a hiccup. I'm not really great at editing and stuff. You're going to make mistakes, even after years and years of practice. That's how it is. I sure made one, didn't I? Then you'll meet some fellow like Henry who will cheer you up and you'll laugh all of your mistakes, Some guy's going to be goofy at you and dance and be like, hey, I can make gestures back at you. And it'll all be great fun. Thanks for listening. And, subscribe and like if you do, or send me a message and tell me about some hilarious thing that happened to you on the astral plane. I'd love to hear about it. Bye for now.